Recruitment Coordinator for Student Mobility and Pathways, and I'm going to be your moderator for today. Today, our session is on how to become a paralegal or a dispute resolution officer, just some of the job titles that you might find when you're looking for roles after you've completed one of these programs today. But just to get started, I'm going to be doing a quick overview about Humber. And to get started with that, I'm going to share a quick video. Let's see if this works.
All that makes you, you to Humber. And
just going to start that over.
Bring your talent, drive, and all that makes you, you to Humber. And we'll prepare you to reach your full potential. Apply now at humber.ca/bringit. We are Humber.
Perfect. So, where are we? So Humber is located in Toronto. We have 3 campuses. We actually have our North campus, which is around about 27 Finch. We have our Lakeshore campus, which is at Kipling and Lakeshore, and we also have our downtown campus. But today, the programs we're going to be speaking about are at our North and Lakeshore campuses. So our North campus has about 20,800 students, full-time students at this campus. We do have residents for over 1,000 students. And one of the things I love about this campus is a 250-acre parkland. You can see on your screen. So this is our residence building here, and you can see it sort of leads right into that parkland. Just absolutely gorgeous. I'm not sure if anyone has had a chance to visit the North campus, but if you haven't, you definitely want to be able to especially in the summer, just access that space. So it's a great space to students go out there to eat lunch, take pictures, see turtles, birds, and just walking the trails. So it's just a beautiful space. We also have our beautiful Lakeshore campus. So this campus, as mentioned, is at Kipling and Lakeshore. This campus has about 12,000 full-time students, residents for 400 students, which will be increasing soon. And this is nestled beside Lake Ontario. So when I'm at the Lakeshore campus, one of the things I love to do is walk along the trail, and you get to like an opening and you can see downtown Toronto from there. So the whole downtown Toronto skyline, which is absolutely gorgeous. So a little bit more about Humber, some fast facts. We have over 300,000 Humber alumni across the world. We have over 200 plus full-time programs in 17 areas of interest. We have over 150 plus pathways from Ontario graduate certificates to master's programs. And I mentioned this because the programs we're covering today are Ontario graduate certificates. So this would be an opportunity to see whether or not, you know, these programs have master's pathways when once done. And more than 45% of incoming students have previous experience or education, similar to a lot of people that are on this call today. So what do we offer? So as mentioned, we have over 200 programs, and we offer them in these different as these types of credentials. So we have 1-year certificates, 2- and 3-year 2-year diploma and 3-year advanced diplomas. We have apprenticeships, which are about 2 to 5 years in length. 4-year bachelor's degree, and today we're going to be discussing our Ontario graduate certificates, and the ones that we're discussing today about 1 year in length. So as you can see, we have many graduate certificates. We have about 55 of them for you to choose from. But today we're hoping to talk more about the legal profession and what are some of the options that are available to you there. So with that, I'm going to invite Mary Lee on to say hello and introduce herself. Hi, Mary, how are you?
Hello, very good, thank you. Thanks so much for inviting me here today, and hello to all the students out there. I know most of you are here interested in the Paralegal Graduate Certificate Program. I'm going to be talking to you about the ADR Graduate Certificate Program, and maybe after I'm finished, you might change your mind.
Maybe.
So
go ahead.
Mary,
what would you like to do? Would you like to share the screen, or would you like to answer the questions?
I'm going to see if I can share my PowerPoint presentation.
Sure.
Do I do it by window? Is it to get the PowerPoint?
You can do it by window.
Oh, here we go. Can you see it? There we go.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and speak to this then.
Okay, great.
Okay, excellent. So The ADR Graduate Certificate Program, it's a 1-year full-time program and it's spread over 3 semesters. So if you were to start in the fall of September 2024, it'd be fall, winter, and summer of the following year. And if you were to start in January, I see one of the students, Linda. Hi, Linda, that you're going to be starting in January. The 3 semesters would be winter, summer, and fall. So there are 12 courses, and they are covered in the first 2 semesters of the program. And in each semester, there's going to be 6 courses in each of those semesters. All the students take the same 12 courses. Classes usually take place between Mondays and Thursday, and there are no classes on Friday. Here we have, this is just a breakdown of the 3 semesters. So in semester 1, the 6 courses would be, they're foundational ADR courses, Introduction to ADR, ADR mechanisms in court processes. We give a great overview of all the administrative tribunals from the municipal, provincial, and federal. It's ethical and cultural issues in ADR, advocacy skills for ADR professionals, and community mediation. In semester 2, we have the advanced ADR course, family mediation, entrepreneur and system design, employment, labor disputes, serving vulnerable people in ADR, and conflict resolution in healthcare. So again, in semester 2 is where we dig a bit deeper, and we're going into the various sectors where ADR is prominent. In semester 3, this is when the placement begins. One thing that I should have mentioned, and I think it may be on my next slide, we have an amazing, rich and diverse faculty. Our courses are taught by both full-time and part-time faculty. All of our faculty live and breathe ADR, so they're actually have connections and they're working in ADR, which is great for networking opportunities. The content that is taught is current and on the leading edge. So they really do bring current real world experience into the classroom. It's a very comprehensive program. Over the 12 years that the program has been around, we have developed some amazing partnerships with various ADR professional organizations, such as the ADR Institute of Ontario. And this is where you can find out more information at www.adr-ontario.ca. We also, our courses have been approved by 2 family professional ADR organizations. That's the Ontario Association of Family Mediators and Family Dispute Resolution Institute of Ontario. All of those organizations provide student membership fees. I encourage all students to join these organizations right when they start their studies, because they offer great student benefits, other free training, and again, the networking. I tell students to get started with networking right from the get-go. The hours that are earned in the program can go towards, because many of our students sometimes want to maybe seek certification in mediation as a mediator or as a family mediator. A very important component of the program is our placements, which takes place in the 3rd semester. Students are required to complete 160 hours. And I've put down a list of some of the placement opportunities in the past with various administrative tribunals, court bail programs, ADR professional organizations, peace builders, various ombudsman's office, not-for-profit community organizations, mediation services, hospitals, and police agencies. And many of our placements have also led to employment. For instance, now in the last summer, I had students who were with the City of Toronto Ombudsman's Office. When they completed their placement, they were offered a contract position. The courts right now, Ministry of the Attorney General, many of our students ended up getting contract positions with the courts. Also, Peace Builders, which is a restorative justice diversion program. I've had 2 students who completed their placements with them, and both of them been offered employment situations. So the skills that they bring and their educational background are very, very attractive to our placement hosts. As well, I'm so proud to talk about our Humber Conflict Resolution Center. So this is another opportunity where students can earn some placement hours, but also more importantly, it's a great opportunity for students to apply the theories and skills that they learned and gain practical experience in resolving student and community disputes. And here, this is just a testimonial from a student who came through the program. Once he finished the program, he did end up got accepted into law school with Ryerson. And following there, he did his articling with a family mediation organization, our law office, and right away they offered him a position. So this is it was just on our Humber, one of our newsletters. So definitely take the time to read it over. So that's a real fast overview. If anyone has any questions, then what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and stop sharing.
I have tons of questions. So this is my first time sort of hearing the presentation about ADR. So Mary, can you tell us a little bit about what the differences are between maybe ADR and paralegal? Because sometimes I think there might be a bit of confusion there.
Okay, so I guess the paralegal graduate certificate program, because many of the students who are going into that program maybe want to go in to become specifically a paralegal, and there's oversight with the Law Society of Ontario. They have to go through some licensing. So with the ADR, now I have a lot of students who have done the paralegal graduate certificate program. Then they've come to do the alternative, the ADR graduate certificate program, because it really is, it's definitely, there's a lot of synergies between the program, and a lot of the paralegals then get employed at the various tribunals. So having this graduate certificate program under their belt as well just makes them that much more marketable. Or vice versa, I have students who have done the ADR graduate certificate and then they've gone into the paralegal. So, and they've had a lot of success with those two programs. Again, because we talk about, we learn about the court processes at small claims court, superior court, you learn about the administrative tribunals. So I think that's where we have a lot of internationally trained lawyers who are really attracted to the ADR program. So this is why it kind of just, they're familiar with, the justice sector and the justice arena. So this is attractive to them.
Right. And how does this program compare to maybe other, because I'm sure there are other programs, maybe at other colleges or maybe similar programs at universities, maybe with different names. How does this compare?
Now, I might be biased, but I have to say this ADR graduate certificate program is probably the best in Ontario, and if not Canada, because it's very comprehensive. So not only do we expose students to various different sectors where ADR is a modality or it's applied, but also we have our conflict resolution center, so students can gain that practical experience right away, which could be adding to their resume, make them attractive for employment or placement opportunities. As well, our program is the only program across Canada that's actually also involved in applied research. So we've just completed, in partnership with the ADR Institute of Ontario, we issued our findings in our research report about the ADR sector in Ontario, especially following the pandemic, about what are some of the opportunities, what are some of the challenges, what are some of the benefits, what are some future directions that ADR is going in. It's been very attractive. We are now just entered a second research project with the ADR Institute of Canada. So what we did for Ontario, they want us to now do right across Canada.
That's great.
So we have students who actually are research assistants who are very involved with this research program and in research, and definitely it was very attractive to them.
Great. And I'm going to ask about the ideal candidates and key attributes. And in the chat, we have a question. Well, are there lots of mature students? What's the average age? So we have some 58-year-olds and 59-year-olds. Like, is there like a limit to what age you can?
No, do you know, every cohort of students is we have a very diverse, it can look very differently. We have some students who just came out of university, they're not quite sure because they need to gain some practical experience, develop some skills, so they will come. So I could say maybe about 40% could be students who are just coming out of university. Then we have another group of students who are international students or internationally trained lawyers. They've been out there working for 4 or 5 years in their home countries. So they come into this program, wanting to come to Canada. They want to learn more about ADR. So you can have students then who are going to be in late 20s, early 30s. Then we have another group of students who want to do career changes, who want to have a different focus, and they want to upgrade their skills and their knowledge, and they're thinking about, they've heard about ADR, and they want to explore that arena. So we really have a really different mixed group of students each year, and that's what I think makes it really, really interesting. Because I say, not only do they learn from us as their faculty, but we learn so much from the students themselves, and then the students learn from one another.
Okay. And so when it comes to who does well in this program and who does well in this field, like as a professional?
Well, definitely, if you are a person who likes to help people, who has a problem in natural, sometimes we say people who come here, just dispute resolution or you're not afraid of conflict comes to them naturally. They fit very nicely into the program. To be successful in this program, if you are enthusiastic and you are a go-getter, you should see some of the success that our students have had that we are so proud of. And if you're willing to put in the work, you're enthusiastic, you're passionate about the field, I think when you meet the faculty, you hear about the content. We have so many outside of the classroom. We have so many other type of networking opportunities and professional development workshops that we expose our students to. They will be very, very successful in this program.
Great. And are there some myths and misconceptions about the field? Because I know for myself, I didn't necessarily know what ADR is or what that meant. So what are some myths and misconceptions that people may have about the program and or this field?
Well, many times when people first hear the words conflict, management or dispute resolution, they're thinking, oh, that's not for me because I'm not a person who wants to get involved with conflict. I want to kind of shy away from conflict. In the program, the very first day of the course, we say conflict, we want you to change that way of thinking and look at it in a positive way, because there's many great benefits and opportunities that come out of conflict. All you need to know is you need to have that training and the knowledge how to turn conflict around into a positive opportunity for change. It can repair relationships. It can make great changes in different organizations. It can make changes in your life. And many of the students I hear at the end, they say, Mary, I am a very different student when I first started this program and when I've ended this program. Not only can I apply this, on the career front, but I'm applying everything that I've learned to my own personal
life.
Relationships, my personal life, with my friends, with my family, with coworkers at school. And it says it's just made me a better person and better able to, the skills that we've applied, just better people and able to cope better in a very, what we sometimes know it can be a very complex and stressful world that we live in.
Yeah. And I was just thinking this might actually be great for business leaders and business professionals and those who are involved in negotiations, et cetera. Would you say that any
Absolutely. You are so right, Risha, because so many times this is what is the beauty about alternative dispute resolution. These skills are sought after by everywhere. Career, everywhere. Right. If you go into paralegal, it's great. It's because you want to do paralegal. You want to work for a law firm. You want to go into the courts. So it's a bit more narrow focused. When you come into the ADR graduate certificate program, as I said, we've had students can go anywhere they want for a desire for a placement opportunity, because these are skills today that employers are looking for. And when they see that on your resume and you have some practical experience, they said, this is what we need, because every organization or every career needs people who can constructively manage disputes, conflicts, problem solve.
Right, great. And what degrees, because this program, admission requirements, thank you, Alicia, for putting that in there. So a bachelor's degree is needed or a diploma in paralegal or law clerk studies. So so I guess when it comes to a degree, any degree will do, but are you
Yes.
seeing certain affinity? Are you seeing certain things, or it does like it's just a
We
wide
see
a
we
range
have
of?
from sociology, psychology, from history. We have a lot that have some, legal backgrounds. That might have done some justice studies or legal backgrounds. We have a lot of students there, but we have a wide variety: human resources, just a general undergrad. So a wide variety.
Okay. And I'm also thinking when, say, someone has the sociology degree and now they want to go into ADR, like what skills from that? Like I'm just thinking from like a student point of view when we're advising students, what skills from, say, a sociology degree or such a general degree can they sort of bring in and
Oh,
know confidently that I can bring this
sociology.
to this?
Sociology would be amazing because it's about people.
Mhm.
And in conflict and disputes involves people. So they have a deeper understanding of sociology, those issues and
Mhm.
people. And so just bringing that, because this is one of the things that we talk about, is all about one of the main sources of conflict, of course, is dealing with people. And there's
Yeah,
three types of
please.
people problems, and we break it right down. So if
Tell us
anybody
more.
understands people problems more, it's going to be someone with a psychology background, sociology background. They are going to have, that foundational theory that they've learned that's just going to
Mhm.
help them excel in this program.
I think I actually need this program. I need this program in my life. I'm like, see, okay. So let's see. So what's the delivery mode? So this will actually determine, because again, I work here at Humber. So what's the delivery mode, and are there any flexible options that are available for this program?
Yeah, so in this program, so predominantly it is in person. We do have
Mhm.
3 courses that are offered online out of the 12 courses. And some of the in person, there could be components of it 3 or 4 weeks that could be offered online, because we bring in a lot of guest speakers. And sometimes, now since COVID, they used to love to come down to Lakeshore campus. Now they're going, hey, can we not do this virtually?
Right.
So some of the courses can be a little bit of a hybrid model, but predominantly there is some in person, which we strongly encourage. It's nice to have that experience of having a little bit of both, because this is what in the workplace today seems to be in person and hybrid. So
Mhm.
we expose students to both.
Okay. And can you go over again? I think you mentioned it in the when you were doing your PowerPoint, but what are the days again that you're
Our
in class?
classes are scheduled between Monday and Thursday. We leave
Okay.
Fridays open. We
Mhm.
leave Fridays open so students can do some volunteer hours at our Conflict
Mhm.
Resolution Center. And many of our workshops or conferences that students want to get involved with usually happen on a Friday. So we like to leave Fridays open that students can take
Mhm.
advantage of those opportunities.
Okay, great. And that's a great segue into the next question about placement opportunities. So you mentioned we have an ADR center. Can you explain what that is and how students can
Yes.
engage in it?
So the Conflict Resolution Center, definitely students should look into it. It's supported by our students. The success of that center relies on students from the program actually
Mhm.
helping students. Students have to complete my course, which I teach community mediation. They will receive a certificate from St. Stephen's in partnership with St. Stephen's, a community mediation certificate. And also they complete a circle process certificate from Peace Builders. Once they've completed that training, they can volunteer at the Conflict Resolution Center. We have a Conflict Resolution Center coordinator who will mentor and guide the students. They receive some training on the day-to-day operations. And then we have the general student population. If they're having a difficulty or conflict, whether it's at school, personal life, or work life, they can come to the center. It's all virtual online. If they want an in-person appointment, we can make those arrangements. We also design and deliver conflict management workshops for various programs at Humber College, plus the community organization in Etobicoke, both North and South Etobicoke. So
Um,
as I mentioned, it's a great
mhm.
opportunity for students to be able to apply the theory, the knowledge, and the skills they learned in the program and gain some practical experience resolving real life disputes.
Great. So I'm thinking about myself right now. So if I wanted to take this, I know it's a full time, it's mostly in person. Are students able to maybe take 2 or 3 classes a semester, or is there a way of sort of going down to a part-time basis and taking this if they're not
Right
able to
now, it's
fully
a
take the full
full-time program.
Okay.
And so I guess that maybe that's something, down the road, the people beyond my, who make that decision, where if they want to offer it on a part-time basis, but at this time, it's offered on a full-time basis.
Okay, great.
But
And
that might be a
placement
possibility down the road.
right. And placement opportunities. So we talked about at the ADR Center, but can you talk about you spoke about it, you gave a brief overview, but can you go a little bit more in depth on where students are getting their placements and what type of work are they doing in those placements?
Okay. So here they can go to various administrative tribunals. They could be starting off as like early resolution officers, customer service representatives, various ombudsman's office, like the Patient Relations Ombudsman, City of Toronto Ombudsman's office. Again, they're going in and they're doing that first initial intake work where they're gathering information about issues and conflicts and problems, and then helping to determine whether or not what's the appropriate way to resolve those disputes. We have restorative justice organizations like Peace Builders Ontario, which is a diversion program for youth, where if they, instead of them going through the criminal court process, they can go to this diversion program. So they use a circle process. So the students will help as a circle facilitator. So various community organizations. It is so broad, the different, because again, it's so applicable. And that's why we could do the courts, we do community organizations, we do ombudsman's office, we have it in patient relations, because one of our courses actually focuses ADR in the healthcare sector. And every healthcare institution has to have a patient relations office, because as you can imagine, there's lots of conflicts and disputes in the healthcare system. So our students will go there as early resolution officers. So that's just touching on a few. In the various courts as well, in Peel Family Mediation Services, various courts, our students have also had placements.
Great. And are those placements paid or unpaid generally?
They're generally unpaid. Some of them might give them some per diem. It's 160 hours. But again, it's just kind of like they get a credit. It's an extension of their learning. And as I said, if they do a great job, it just opens up the door for employment opportunity.
Great. And we usually say it's almost like a 4-month job interview when you're going and doing these placements, which then leads into my next question about employment. And are most students finding their first job, full-time or part-time employment after graduation from those placements?
We have a lot of students who are successful in finding employment following their placements. If they don't get it exactly when their placement concludes, because they've left their resume, they've proven themselves.
Right.
Anytime there's an opening, we have many of our placement hosts will go back to those students and say, hey, we have a job opportunity. We want you to put your name in the hat. So we tell the students, please just show them everything that you can bring and, make it so difficult for them that, they want to hire you. They don't want to let you go. And do the best job possible. Just don't clock in the hours, do the best job possible, because, anything is possible.
Yeah. And that's how I found my first job as well, was through my placement, got hired on contract and got hired full time. And I've been at Humber ever since. So those placements are so important, and sort of proving yourself and showing who you are.
Yes. And I'm so sorry I have to say this. I'm supposed to be in another meeting right now. I'm already 10 minutes over. So hopefully I've given you a bit of a taste of it, but I really do have to jump off.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mary.
Okay. Thank you so much. And I look forward to those students who are starting in the ADR program or interested. I look forward to meeting with you in person.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. So Alicia, I'm going to ask you to come on, and I know you're not going to be bringing on your camera. Can you give us a little bit more? And hopefully, I'm not sure about you, but I enjoyed learning about the ADR program. I know a little bit more about the paralegal program. I used to be the admissions officer for this graduate certificate and the diploma. So I know a little bit more about the paralegal program and not so much about the ADR. So this was actually very, very interesting to actually learn more. But Alicia, I know you already put it in the chat, but can you speak to the ADR program, some of the admission requirements, also when's a good time for students to apply, how competitive it is?
So at the moment, we still have seats for January, right?
Mhm.
And I can only speak for the domestic side, right? I'm not,
Mhm.
I haven't looked at the international numbers because there's another officer that does the international numbers, right? And this next intake due after January, we actually, this year we will have not this year, 2024, we will have a May intake, right? That's a one-off. We don't always offer a May intake, but we had some demand, so they did create an intake for May,
Mhm.
right? Sorry, and what else did you ask me about so the application is still open through Ontario colleges, right? Everyone that decides to apply to a college in Ontario needs to apply and pay the application fee through OCAS, right? That's www.ontariocolleges.ca. Like I said, we still have a few seats left for January. If anyone wants to attend January, they should apply ASAP because registration already started. So we don't want to wait too long. And then we also have the Christmas holiday, right?
Right.
The transcripts also must be sent via Ontario colleges. And if anyone has been educated outside of Canada, they need to provide an evaluation. And we accept ICAS or WES evaluation, indicating that they have the equivalent to what we require in admissions, a Canadian equivalency.
Right. And if anyone is looking to maybe apply for transfer credits later on, maybe you've
So
worked in, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, so for postgraduate programs, the Faculty of Business only allows for transfer credits for courses that are from a master's program or another postgrad. So they can
Yes.
never file for transfer credit based on undergraduate courses, right? It
Right.
has to be. And they would reach out to the transfer credit department,
Mhm.
right? And we do have a currency policy of 5 years, right? Maximum.
Mhm.
And any
Yes, for
older
core
courses.
courses.
Yeah. Yeah. That's about it, I can think, right?
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually just share my screen. I'm not sure the other speaker, there must have been some issue why they're not able to be here, but I'll just share my screen and Alicia and I will do our best to give you a little bit more information about the program. And what we'll also do is give you the contact information for the program coordinator and the associate dean as well. So the paralegal graduate certificates, we actually have 3 different paralegal programs at Humber. We have a 2-year paralegal diploma, we have a 4-year paralegal degree, and then we also have this 1-year Ontario graduate certificate in paralegal studies. So again, we want to make sure that you're in the right program. As mentioned, who is a good fit for that program? You have to have had, and you can see the admission requirements here, a bachelor's degree from any discipline or an advanced diploma in business, social sciences, or related field. I've spoken to students in the past where they had applied for the paralegal program, or I've seen them in the 2-year diploma program, they have a degree, and I've asked, well, are you aware that we have this paralegal graduate certificate? And what they would say is like, you know what, I'm taking the 2-year diploma because maybe it's a little bit more flexible, it offers more flexibility, or sometimes they weren't aware that this program existed. So just to know that there are 3 different types, and it just depends on which one is the best fit for you. So as mentioned, the program is going to be the rest of the is the rest of the presentation all about paralegal. I think we're going to be doing a general overview, and I think we're going to be doing questions. Potentially, but if you want, Alicia has actually put Kenneth's information in the chat. So we have a January start date and also September and January of next year start date as well. As mentioned, this program is 1 year. It deals with tort and contract law, residential landlord and tenancy law, which is huge. Go ahead, Alicia.
Wanted to mention because Linda, she just left the chat to reach out to Mary for her question regarding if she can skip a semester in the summer. But I know Linda, I admitted Linda into the program, right? So I would just reach out to her.
You
and
reach
tell
out to her.
that.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. Great. Yeah, so 1 year, it's usually 3 semester long. The courses that are available as part of this program are here. I don't see them here. But the courses are usually 2 semesters of study. So 2 semesters in study, and then the 3 semesters of study, and there's also a placement piece as part of this as well. You can see the field placement as part of the paralegal program, and it tells you how the program is offered. This is one of those programs where it's based on the Law Society of Upper Canada. Well, it used to be Law Society of Upper Canada, Law Society of Ontario. They sort of get to say a say on how the program is delivered, the courses that are delivered, so that we can actually stay in compliance with them, because it is a regulated profession. And it says here, it has on the program page, so I'm actually just going to copy this. On the program page, it does have more information about the postgraduate work permit and the need, if you are an international applicant, the need to stay enrolled full-time as much as possible if you are going to apply for that work permit. So work integrated learning, there's 120-hour field placement that's attached to the program. And again, that is so important. It's your way of gaining experience. It's your way of going through and making sure that once they're done, that they're hiring you, because you've basically shown that you can do the work, the type of worker you are, and the type of person you're going to be for them. Something to remember when you're thinking about I just thought of something, it just slipped my mind when it comes to the paralegal program. Hopefully I'll remember it. For students, international students, stack and stay. So you're hearing about the paralegal, you heard about ADR, maybe you're interested in paralegal. For international students, some like to do both. And even for domestic students, I think both would actually be a really, really good option, because again, with paralegal, this is what I wanted to mention, paralegal can be very, very entrepreneurial. It's a very entrepreneurial program. Most people are going into it because they want to become a paralegal, and most of them, they want to sort of have their own business as a paralegal. So yes, there are jobs as paralegals in some law firms, but for the most part, for a lot of students, they're going out and they're working, right? And sort of they're starting their own businesses. So if that is not what you want, so that's something you need to consider. Most of students graduating, that's what you're going to be doing. So just keep that in mind. So if you are thinking of maybe doing the ADR after, that's almost like a great complement where, yes, you can have your own business. You can maybe have your own consultancy firm for paralegal and ADR, or if you want to work within the government, etc., you can then go and work as an ADR as well. But again, careers vary. So for example, if you're looking to work in the courts, like traffic courts, I've seen paralegal as the prosecution, for example. They're the prosecutor who's prosecuting those traffic offenses, for example. So lots of different opportunities. So it says here in public and private organizations, paralegal or law firms, government agencies, community legal clinics, administrative tribunals. So as you can see, very, very similar to the ADR program, but just this is again accredited by the Law Society of Ontario. And you can see the accreditation here. And also you can see related programs as we've spoken about before. So when it comes to fees and financial aid for domestic students, we're looking at a fee of about $5,455.32 for 3 semesters of study. And for international students, it's about $27,000. And you can see you can get a breakdown of each semester by clicking into each of these fee tabs. It has more information about scholarshiip opportunities at Humber, bursaries, and external scholarships. Again, I usually tell students to take advantage of this. These are scholarships that are not from Humber, but elsewhere, which is more. There are a lot more of them. So we usually tell students to take advantage of that. If you want to know how to apply, there's more information on this tab here about how to apply for domestic students and how to apply for international students. And also, if you click here on apply now on any program page, it takes you to this link where it shows you the international application and it shows you the domestic application as well, where you would start your application. Lastly, it's the last tab is the Contact Us tab. So again, I've actually looked at other websites from other institutions, and Humber is one of those few schools that it's very, very easy to find information and connect with people. So for example, the contact information for the program coordinator is here, Kenneth. If you have inquiries, like as an international applicant, that information is here. And if you wanted to speak with an admissions advisor or officer, you can book a one-on-one advising appointment with them here as well. And if you just have general inquiries that not related to any of these, then you can contact us at inquiry@humber.ca, or you can call 416-675-3111. All right. So again, lots of different opportunities. There's also information here on some of the newsletters that they've put out. The virtual and upcoming sessions are here. This is one of those sessions. We had open house maybe a couple of weeks ago. And if you haven't visited Humber before, do book a tour. We do have tours that are happening in person or online. So if there are any international applicants here, you can actually visit us online and do a virtual tour. So that's it for at least my overview of the paralegal program. Alicia, is there anything that you want to add? Did I miss anything about the program?
No, I'm just gonna say that the paralegal program is full-time, so is the ADR, right? But the paralegal is definitely there's no option of taking just a few courses, because we are required by the Law Society to offer the program full-time and also in person. So there's no wiggle room on that.
Right.
The
Yes,
paralegal
yeah.
program is offered at the North Campus, and the ADR is offered at the Lakeshore Campus. So those are the classes are lectures in person, depending on which one at the respective campus, right?
Okay, great. So I think we went over, let me just see if I can go through. I think we had some other questions here, and I think we sort of went over how to get started. So for anyone who, if you're domestic students and they're missing this, if you haven't applied already and you're looking to apply, we do have a voucher that we're giving away, or that we're giving out for those who might be interested in starting in the program. And of course, it's a limited offer depending on the availability, but there's different options that are here for students who are applying domestic and international. I know international are offering some vouchers as well for those who are looking to start in January. And we've sort of shown this as well on how to apply and where you can go to apply. So Alicia, did you want to speak to this piece? If you're speaking, you're on mute. You're muted.
Oh, I didn't know this piece existed at the end, but sure. So usually what it happens is, as a person would apply, we would review the transcripts, grant them the offer, and then once you have the offer, you would go ahead and accept it. Then there is a time that on the offer letter would tell you when you have to pay your deposit, right? It is $250 for domestic students. It's non-refundable. And after that, it takes about 24 hours or so for the remainder of the fees to populate over to the account. In order for students to register, we require students to either pay their tuition fees or be approved by OSAP, or if they're coming like third-party sponsorship, everything needs to be in order before registration can happen, right? And then great, you register for classes, and then in the New Year's, you can start. We'd be happy to meet you there, right? So
yes, yeah, perfect. Great.
I just, sorry,
Yeah,
I just wanted to remind you that I believe some of our attendees did not have access to the chat, so we might want to open the mics to see if
I'll
they
be
have
opening
any
the mic
questions.
shortly.
Okay.
Yes, great. All right, so if you do have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand now. And I know some already do. So for example, Leah, Anna, I'm going to open up your mic as well. Hussein, I'm opening up your mic again. And VD, I'm opening up your mic as well. And Ali, I know you have a question, but next steps, we do have the other Power Up sessions taking place. We have one tonight. We have one tomorrow and another one on Thursday as well. So take a look and see if there's any other sessions that might be of interest to you. And that is it. We'll open it up open it up for questions, and I'll call on Aaliyah. Hi, Aaliyah.
Hi. So I had a couple of questions just about the placement. When I just graduated university, so I've never done placement before. What's like the
Okay.
process like? And like what kind
Okay.
of placements have students in the paralegal program done in the past?
Great question. I don't have all the answers, but I know usually each of our faculties, they actually have a WIL coordinator, a work integrated learning coordinator, where they assist students with finding their placements. Let me just see if I can pull this up here. So a lot of the programs actually have a course as part of it. Let's see. See here, a paralegal career development, where they start off in the first semester. You're learning about how to your resume, your cover letter, mock interviews. They're basically getting you set up to do your placement in the third semester. So we have those WIL coordinators. So within each faculty, sometimes they're for specific programs like maybe paralegal, ADR, the paralegal diplomas, etc. And then at the same time, you have others where we have our career center that also assists. So in the end, it's usually the student's responsibility to find their placement, but you get lots of support. A lot of companies are sending job opportunities or placement opportunities our way. So again, there's usually a lot of assistance when it comes to finding that placement.
Okay,
And
awesome.
types
Thank
of,
you so much.
yeah, no problem. And I guess from what I've heard, and Alicia, maybe I know from like sometimes students are getting placements at I think maybe similar to ADR, maybe at the tribunals. I know at some law firms. But again, that would be a question for Kenneth. And we'll put James's contact information in the chat as well. And maybe he can be able to answer a little bit more on where students are getting their placements or finding their placements.
Yes, probably Kenneth would be the best contact, right? Because he would know the advisor that works with work integrated learning, right? Because each program has an advisor. I'm just trying to think who it is for the paralegal postgrad, and it's not coming to mind, right?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, and that's something that you should be aware of. There's lots of support. So your program coordinator is almost your first point of contact, but every program, every faculty have advisors to basically advise you, assist you, help. But then we also have the work integrated coordinators. And recently we had like the faculty, Longo's Faculty of Business, where these programs are housed. They recently had career fairs this past fall for students. So one was in hospitality, another was I think more of like the business, just general business programs, and I think another was maybe in these fields. So there are so many different opportunities to take advantage of, whether it's on campus or off campus, whether it's maybe a well-known company, or maybe it's a smaller company. It just depends on what opportunities are there. And sometimes students have, sometimes you may have an opportunity yourself. So it's just a matter of making sure that that opportunity aligns with what they want. So usually if you found your own, you would bring it back to the WIL coordinator to make sure that what you're going to be doing meets the requirements for that placement, and that you'll be able to sort of use it towards your hours for that placement. Great. Any other questions? Anyone thinking of doing the ADR program after learning about it? Okay, and thank you, Alicia. Alicia's put the contact of the postgrad placement advisor in the chat, Marianne Myers. So again, Aaliyah, if you want to, you can reach out to Marianne and ask any questions you may have. Any other questions? Okay. Great. Well, that's it for our presentation. As mentioned before, if you do have further questions, please feel free. You can reach out to us at options at humber.ca. If you have general transfer related questions, every program page has this contact us section where you can reach out either to admissions or the program coordinator or the program advisor. So lots of different ways for you to stay involved. Just a show of hands, who's thinking of starting the program in January? You can use the raise hand function. Okay. Who's thinking of, okay, great. And have you already applied to the program? And everyone is unmuted, so you can either,
Yes.
you've already applied? Okay, great. And Anna, have you already applied? You can use the,
Yeah, me too.
okay, great. And you've been accepted, all good to go?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, awesome, great. So I'm glad you came because sometimes it's great to make sure that you're in the right program, right? So that's why we sent out the invitation to students who had already been accepted, because we want to make sure that, yes, this is the right program for you and you're not making this, you're not finding this out a little bit later down the road. And then a show of hands, who's thinking of starting this program in the fall of next year? Okay, go ahead, Alicia.
I just wanted to mention, so if somebody decides they want to attend the fall, right, and they haven't applied yet, to sort of be a bit aware that when they're submitting an application, to ensure that they are submitting the application for the correct intake, because right now we have 2 academic years open and they require a different application and the same fee, right? Or not the same fee, but they require payment too, right? So make sure that you know that you want to attend September and you apply for 2024, 2025, or if you want to attend January or May, that would be 2023, 2024 academic year. Just to save you some money, because once we receive the application, we cannot move it to different academic years.
Right, good point. Thank you for pointing that out. Any other questions? I see someone was typing, but any other questions? Okay, perfect. Any last words, Alicia, like anything that we've missed?
I think we covered quite a bit. I put my contact information. If anyone remembers something that we should have covered, they can just send me an email and either I can answer if I have the answer, or I can pass it on to somebody that can. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for attending.
Sorry, do you know who the international admissions person is?
No, so for international, they would contact via the contact form, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I can post it there. I think I have it. So they don't have an individual. Everyone sort of pitches in with the application. So it's not like in domestic admissions.
Right. Perfect. Great. Thank you so much. Okay. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for joining us here today. Hopefully you found this session informative. We'll be sending out a survey a little later on. Maybe once all the sessions are done on Thursday, we'll be sending out just like a survey to ask how we did, what we can improve on. And that survey is extremely important, because again, it helps us to improve the programs in the future and make sure that we're delivering the information and the content that you need to make your decisions. And with that, I'm going to bid you all good day. And I hope to see some of you in some of the other sessions that are happening later today, tomorrow, and on Thursday. All right. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.